The radio crackled to life at 11:47 p.m., cutting through the usual quiet of the Thursday night shift.
Units available for a welfare check. 1847 Riverside Apartments, Building C, Apartment 23B. Caller reports hearing multiple people inside the apartment. Possible disturbance. Caller wishes to remain anonymous.
Officer Martinez keyed his radio.
Unit 7-2 responding.
His partner, Officer Chen, a 5-year veteran with sharp instincts, glanced over from the passenger seat. Multiple people? That's vague.
Dispatch. Can you provide more details on the call?
Pulling the cruiser onto Riverside Drive, the dispatcher's voice came back flat, almost apologetic.
Negative 7-2. Caller disconnected after initial report. No additional information available.
Chen frowned, clicking her seatbelt as Martinez accelerated.
Anonymous caller, no details, late at night. Could be nothing. Could be domestic.
Could be anything.
Martinez agreed, his jaw tightening. After 12 years on the force, he'd learned that the calls with the least information often turned into the most complicated situations. The Riverside Apartments were a sprawling complex of brick buildings that had seen better days. Security lights flickered in the parking lot as they pulled in, casting uneven shadows across rows of cars. Building C sat at the far end, partially obscured by overgrown hedges that hadn't been trimmed in months.
Unit 7-2 on scene.
Chen reported into her radio as they exited the vehicle. The night air was cool and still. Too still. Martinez's hand instinctively moved closer to his duty belt as they approached the building. No sounds of argument, no music, no signs of disturbance. As they reached the entrance to Building C, a figure emerged from the shadows near the ground floor utility room. A man in his late 50s, wearing a maintenance uniform, holding a toolbox, stopped when he saw the officers.
"You hear about 23B?
He asked before they could speak. Yes, sir, Chen replied, pulling out her notepad. Did you call this in?
No, but I heard it.
He said, setting down his toolbox with a heavy thud.
Been working on the water heater in the basement for the past hour. Maybe 45 minutes ago, I heard banging coming from up there. Loud, like someone slamming against walls or throwing furniture.
Martinez exchanged a glance with Chen.
How long did it last?
45, maybe an hour. Then it just stopped, dead silent.
The maintenance man wiped his hands on his pants, clearly uncomfortable.
Look, I've worked here for 8 years. That apartment, 23B, it's been quiet since the new tenant moved in about 3 months ago. Young woman, keeps to herself. Never any problems before tonight.
Do you know if she lives alone?
Far as I know, only ever seen her coming and going by herself.
Thank you, sir. We'll check it out. Please stay nearby in case we need you.
They climbed the concrete stairs to the second floor, their boots echoing in the stairwell. The hallway was dimly lit by flickering fluorescent tubes that hummed overhead. Apartment 23B was at the end of the corridor. Martinez and Chen paused outside the door, listening. Nothing. No voices, no movement, no sound at all except the electrical buzz of the lights and the distant hum of traffic from the highway. Chen positioned herself to the side of the door, hand resting on her service weapon but not drawing it. Martinez did the same on the opposite side, then knocked firmly.
Police department. We received a call about this apartment.
Silence. He knocked again, louder this time.
Hello? This is the police. We need to speak with you.
For several long seconds, nothing happened. Then they heard it. Soft footsteps, light and quick, approaching the door from inside. The deadbolt clicked. The chain rattled. The door swung open. Martinez had been prepared for many things: an injured victim, an aggressive suspect, a frightened resident. He was not prepared for what stood before him. A woman in her mid-20s stood completely naked in the doorway, her expression blank and eerily calm. Her dark hair was cropped close to her scalp in an almost military-style buzz cut. She was thin, almost gaunt, with pale skin that seemed to glow in the harsh hallway light. Her eyes were wide, unblinking, fixed on the officers with an intensity that immediately set off alarm bells. Martinez started, then stopped, completely thrown off his training. Chen recovered faster, though her voice carried an edge of professional tension.
Ma'am, we're going to need you to put some clothes on.
The woman tilted her head slightly, like a bird examining something curious.
Why? This is my home.
Ma'am, please.
Chen insisted, her tone firmer.
Put something on, then we need to speak with you. We received a
For a
call about a
moment, the
disturbance.
woman didn't move. Then, without a word, she turned and walked back into the apartment, leaving the door wide open. Martinez and Chen remained in the doorway, neither entering without permission, but both deeply unsettled by the encounter. Martinez keyed his radio quietly.
Unit 7-2, we're making contact with the resident. Single female. Behavior is unusual. Stand by.
The apartment was small but immaculate. In the brief glimpse they'd gotten, everything was in perfect order. No overturned furniture, no signs of struggle, no damage to walls or doors that would explain the banging the maintenance worker had described. The woman reappeared, now wearing an oversized gray sweater that hung to her mid-thigh. Nothing else. Her legs were bare, her feet, too. She stood in the middle of her living room, arms hanging loosely at her sides.
May we come in?
Chen asked, though both officers were already scanning the visible interior for any signs of danger or additional occupants.
Yes.
The woman said simply. Martinez and Chen entered, leaving the door open behind them per protocol. The apartment was a studio layout, everything visible from the main room except the bathroom. The space was almost obsessively clean. No dishes in the sink, no clutter on the counters. The bed in the corner was made with hospital corners, so tight you could bounce a quarter off it. On a plush pet bed near the window, a corgi lay curled up, watching them with calm, dark eyes. The dog didn't bark, didn't move, just observed with the same unsettling stillness as its owner.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Chen asked gently, pulling out her notepad. The woman's eyes focused on Chen.
Mara.
Her voice was soft, almost melodic.
Mara, I'm Officer Chen, and this is Officer Martinez. We received a report of multiple people in your apartment and possible disturbance. Is anyone else here with you?
No.
Mara's response was immediate, certain. Martinez moved slowly toward the bathroom, the only room with a closed door.
Ma'am, I'm going to check your bathroom to make sure everything's okay. Is that all right?
Mara nodded, still focused on Chen. Martinez pushed open the bathroom door with his foot, hand on his weapon. The bathroom was as pristine as the rest of the apartment. Shower curtain pulled back, revealing nothing. Medicine cabinet closed. Towels folded with geometric precision. Empty.
Clear,
He said quietly, returning to the main room. Chen continued her questions, her voice deliberately calm and non-threatening.
Mara, were you alone here tonight?
Yes.
Did you hear any banging sounds earlier? The maintenance worker downstairs reported hearing loud noises from your apartment.
For the first time, something flickered across Mara's face. Not fear, not guilt. Something else entirely. Her head tilted again, and when she spoke, her voice had changed. It was deeper, rougher, with an edge that hadn't been there before.
He hears things that aren't real.
Martinez and Chen exchanged another glance. The change in her voice was striking, undeniable. Chen pressed forward carefully.
Mara, are you feeling all right? Have you taken anything tonight? Any medications or substances?
The woman's expression shifted, and her voice changed again. This time it was higher, almost childlike, with a slight tremor.
I take my pills. I take them every day. I'm a good girl.
The hairs on the back of Martinez's neck stood up. This wasn't drugs. This was something else.
What kind of pills, Mara?
Chen asked, her training in crisis intervention kicking in. Before Mara could answer, her face contorted slightly, and yet another voice emerged, this one sharp, angry, biting.
Why are you here? We didn't call you. We don't need you.
Martinez positioned himself slightly closer, ready to intervene if necessary, but trying not to escalate.
Mara, is there someone we can call for you? Family? A doctor?
The woman's eyes snapped to Martinez, and for a moment they looked completely lucid. Her original soft voice returned.
I have a psychiatrist, Dr. Helen Voss. Her number is on my phone.
Chen carefully reached for her own radio.
Unit 72 to dispatch. We're going to need a supervisor and possibly medical to our location. No immediate danger, but we have a subject who may need a psychiatric evaluation.
Copy 7-2. Supervisor and medical en route.
Mara suddenly laughed, a sound that was wrong, discordant, like 3 different laughs layered over each other. She sat down on her perfectly made bed, pulling her knees to her chest. The sweater rode up, but she didn't seem to notice or care.
They think I'm crazy.
She said in the childlike voice.
But we're not crazy. We're just many.
Chen sat down carefully in a chair near the door, making herself less threatening.
Mara, how many are there?
The woman looked up, and her eyes seemed to focus on something beyond the officers, beyond the walls. When she spoke again, it was in a 4th voice, calm and analytical, almost clinical.
There are 7 of us. Mara, who you spoke to first, she's the host. She's the one who handles daily life. Then there's Anna.
The voice shifted to the angry one.
Who protects us. And Sarah.
The childlike voice returned.
Who remembers the before times. And Marcus.
Deep, masculine, unsettling coming from her small frame.
Who deals with the hard things.
Martinez felt a chill run down his spine. Dissociative identity disorder. He'd heard about it in training, read case studies, but never encountered it in the field.
And the others?
Chen asked, her voice remaining steady, professional, compassionate. The clinical voice returned.
Thomas, Emma, and someone we call the Watcher. She doesn't speak, she just observes.
Mara, Chen said gently.
What happened tonight? The banging sounds.
The voice that answered was Anna, the protector. Still angry, but less hostile now.
Marcus was angry. He wanted out. He doesn't like being trapped in here. He started hitting the walls, throwing things. But then Mara took control back. She cleaned everything up. She always cleans up our messes.
Martinez looked around the apartment again with new understanding. The obsessive cleanliness, the perfect order. It was control. Desperate, necessary control.
Is Marcus her now?
He's quiet now. He's watching. They're all watching.
The corgi suddenly stood up, walked over to Mara, and placed its head on her knee. The gesture was so human, so protective, that it broke some of the tension in the room.
That's Walter.
Mara's original voice said, soft and tired.
He's trained to help me when I switch, when the others come out. He's a psychiatric service dog.
Chen noticed the small patches on the dog's vest for the first time. He helps ground you?
Yes, when I can feel them coming, I hold Walter. And sometimes it helps me stay me.
Voice cracked slightly.
I'm sorry about tonight. I forgot my medication this morning. When that happens, they get louder, stronger. Anna and Marcus especially.
Heavy footsteps echoed in the hallway. Sergeant Morrison appeared in the doorway. a veteran officer with gray at his temples and 20 years of experience written in the lines of his face. Behind him, 2 EMTs carrying medical bags. Chen stood and moved to brief the sergeant quietly, while Martinez stayed with Mara, maintaining the rapport they'd established.
Mara, these EMTs are here to make sure you're okay. And we're going to call your doctor. Is that all right?
She nodded, tears suddenly streaming down her face.
I didn't mean to scare anyone. I just forgot my pills. I forgot, and they got so loud, and Marcus got so angry, and I couldn't stop him from hitting the walls. And then Sarah was crying, and Anna was screaming at everyone to be quiet, and I just...
Her voice broke into sobs. One of the EMTs, a kind-faced woman named Jessica, approached slowly.
Mara, my name is Jessica. Can I sit with you? Check your vital signs?
Okay.
Mara whispered, still clutching Walter. Over the next 30 minutes, the situation slowly stabilized. The EMTs confirmed Mara wasn't in immediate medical danger. Sergeant Morrison made contact with Dr. Voss, who verified Mara's diagnosis and treatment plan. The doctor explained that Mara had been making excellent progress, living independently for the first time in years. But medication compliance was crucial.
She has weekly appointments.
Dr. Voss explained over the phone.
She was supposed to come in yesterday, but she canceled. I should have followed up. I'll contact her emergency support person and make sure someone stays with her tonight.
Chen looked through the medication bottles in Mara's bathroom with her permission, finding the missed doses.
Looks like you've missed 3 days. That's probably why everyone got so loud.
Mara nodded, now wearing proper pants that Jessica had helped her find. She looked exhausted, wrung out, but more present than she had been.
I was doing so well. I had a routine. But then I got sick last weekend, and my routine got messed up, and I couldn't remember if I'd taken them or not. So I thought I had, but I guess I didn't.
It happens. The important thing is that you're safe now, and we're getting you help.
Dr. Voss arranged for Mara's sister to come stay with her for a few days. The sister, Emily, arrived within the hour, embracing Mara tightly and thanking the officers profusely. She explained that Mara had been through severe childhood trauma that had fractured her psyche as a coping mechanism. But with treatment, she'd been doing remarkably well.
She's one of the bravest people I know. Living
Emily
independently,
said, her arm
holding down
around
a
her
job,
sister's shoulders.
managing her condition. She's a fighter.
As the officers prepared to leave, Mara approached them, Walter at her heels.
Thank you
She said quietly, her voice her own.
for not treating me like I was dangerous. For listening.
Chen smiled warmly.
That's our job, Mara. Take care of yourself.
Back in the patrol car, Martinez and Chen sat in silence for a moment, processing what they'd just experienced.
First time you've encountered DID in the field?
Yeah,
Chen admitted.
training is one thing, but that was...
Intense. The way her whole voice changed. Her mannerisms. It really was like talking to different people.
because we were 7 different people, all trying to survive in one body.
Martinez started the car, pulling out of the parking lot.
Makes you think about all the calls we've been on. How many times we've labeled someone as drunk, high, or just crazy, when maybe there was something else going on.
Yeah,
Chen agreed, looking back at Building C in the side mirror.
mental health calls are the hardest. No bad guys to arrest, no clear solutions, just people trying to survive their own minds.
The radio crackled with a new call, a traffic accident on Highway 9, and they rolled back into the rhythm of the night shift. But neither officer would forget the voices in apartment 23B, or the young woman fighting a battle most people couldn't imagine, trying to find peace among the fragments of herself. As they drove away, the lights in apartment 23B stayed on. Inside, Mara sat with her sister, Walter pressed against her side, taking her medication with a glass of water, trying to quiet the voices that had become both her burden and, in a strange way, her protection. 7 people in one body, each with their own story, each with their own pain, all fighting for the same thing: the chance to simply exist.